Welcome back to the Crochet Crowdhouse with my friends over at yarnspirations.com. We have the Pom Pom Trim Tree Skirt designed by Selena Baca for Red Heart. This is an older pattern but fabulous, and it's actually really quite trending in 2020 to be able to do something fun for your Christmas holidays. So let's take a look at this pattern a little more carefully, and then we'll continue on with our journey. So as we begin today, you're going to notice that it will ruffle. So it's one of those items. It does have a nice generous overlap about halfway through a side here, and that's what's going to be happening on here. So you'll notice that as we're continuing our journey today. So you will notice that it will not sit completely flat, and that's part of the charm of this whole thing. You can add a pom-pom for tutorial reasons. I'm gonna add a pom-pom tutorial at the end of this one today, and then we're going to begin. Once you understand this pattern, it's a matter of an easy repeat, and you can go as big or as small as you want to. So if you want to do a smaller tree, great, and if not, you can go as big as you need to go. So without further ado, let's head on into this tutorial and let's begin. And you'll need a 5.5mm size eye crochet hook today, an assortment of colors by Red Heart Super Saver. You can use Caron 1 pound or Bernat Super Value, as well as options that you can decide to do. As we begin our journey, we're going to be going through a color sequence, and you'll see it as we begin, and then it says one row with E, one row with B, one row with F, and etc. And you will notice that will be happening in. So the color sequence is actually just right here if you would like to match exactly what you see, but don't be scared to express your own creativity and design it in your own way. Once we begin this pattern, there is a repeat of 2 rows. Repeat the last 2 rows 18 times, and you'll see that, and that's something that you can decide for yourself as well. So let's begin. So let's begin today by creating a slip knot using an eye 5.5mm and your Super Saver yarn if you wish. So I need you to immediately chain 53. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go all the way to 53, and then I'll be back here in just a moment. Now that my 53 are done, I'm ready to go on row number 1. So it says double crochet 4th chain from the hook, so just count it back. So 1, 2, 3. Go to the back hump of the chain, and that's where we're going to double crochet. Okay, now let's go through the repeat pattern of this idea. We're going to then double crochet the next 4 chains in a row. So 1, and then 2, 3, and 4. And now this is where the repeat starts. So you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, so we can turn slightly, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 5. So starting in the very next stitch, just double crochet the next 5. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is that, and now it's going to go back to the repeat. So the repeat is chain 2, and then start in the very next stitch, go to the next 5. So please do this all the way across your chain. I'll see you close to the end as we come out to the very end of this row. So I'm coming near to the end of the row and just chaining 2, and then the very last there will be 1 double crochet in the last 5 stitches. So what I would do is have a nice clean break at the end of these rows when you're changing out your colors. That's completely how what I would do if it were me and I were you. Okay, and then just come right into the end. So to do that, because there's lots of colors that are involved, what I would really get in the habit of doing is just finishing off. So just trim your yarn right where you are, and then just slam it through a tapestry needle to finish it. And I would do that versus weaving this in, because chances are you'll use this year after year, so why not take care of it immediately, and therefore you won't have tails popping out maybe in the years to come or even this year. So just take your needle and just guide it up underneath the stitches. Don't interfere with that top edge because you're gonna need it, and just go up underneath and match. And when you pull, don't change the shape. So go through once, go through twice, and then go through the 3rd time as a charm. And I would do that each and every time you're changing color. So let's officially move to row number 2, and let's begin. I'd also get rid of that starting one as well, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I just finished that up. I just wove in my ends, and now let's turn it and go in the opposite direction. So grabbing a new color, whatever color you decide to use, it's up to you. and just start it with the slip knot for extra security, and then I want you to go into the very first one, the first stitch, and just attach it and then chain 2. This will not count as a stitch. This is just a builder. In the same one I want you to half double crochet. Okay, so just half double crochet, and I want you to continue to half double crochet until you get to a chain 2 space. So right now there's a total of 5 stitches below, and you don't really need to start counting those as long as you watch for those chain 2 spaces, and noticing that I'm going up over top of the straggler as well so that it's trapped underneath, so I don't have to ever deal with that twice. Now at the corners, when you have those, you're gonna half double crochet first, and then chain 2, and then half double crochet. Okay, so let's recap. Starting in the next one and all the rest to the next corner, which is right here, you're going to just put in a half double crochet. I'm not counting, I'm just slamming in stitches. You don't need to count. So you do all those, and then you do the corner again. So half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. So I want you to do this all the way across to the other side, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So as you're coming all the way across, you're going into the very last one. Because the chain here doesn't count as a stitch here, you just want it to go into the last 5. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. At any point you don't have to change your colors. So if you wanted to move on to the next row, which is row number 3, you can simply turn and begin. So remember, the colors are just a choice. So I'm going to honor what it's suggesting, and that we're going to keep this color going into the next one. So you can decide what you would like to do in order to make that work, but you can fasten off just like I showed you. So moving on to row number 3, is just that you're chaining 3, and it says it does not count as a stitch, so you're just going to double crochet into the same beginning one. That's kind of abnormal in this case. So you see here it wasn't included either, so that's something that you have to decide. So you're going to just double crochet yourself then all the way until you get to the first corner, and guess what you're going to do? Any guesses? Well, as you hit it, the corner will be a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. So essentially, as I'm working my way through this now, this is all you need to know for this particular one. So one row is a half double crochet row, and the other row is a double crochet row, and the color choices are basically left up to you. But eventually you're going to come to the end of this, and it does state the amount of rows that it's suggesting. I think it's around 8 or 40 rows that has been suggested for this whole thing, so just keep an eye on that, and in order to get it. But you may want to line it up with your own tree, because maybe you have a smaller version, maybe whatever you would like to do, you can decide to do whatever. So I know, pretty hard, eh? So let's review on how to finish this thing off, as if you wanted to do the final border, and then I will put a pom-pom tutorial at the end of this video today. So let's just get to the end and let's talk about finishing this thing off. So I'm just coming all the way across the row. So all you just need to do, and make sure that you don't use this piece as the last stitch. Remember, the first half double crochet, or sorry, the chain 2 and the chain 3 don't count as a stitch. So you just need to just change your colors if you want to, or keep it going the same. So the next row would be half, and then the row after that would be double crochet. So you just got to repeat rows number 2 and 3 until you get to the size. So let's just talk about and show you how to do the final border. The final border, we're not going to play with the middle of this. So let's take a look at that first. So once you grow this out, it'll overlap right here, and then it will continue to go. So you have all this. You will attach your pom-poms at the end of doing your final border. The final border is a row. It's not actually a round. So meaning you're going to go in the center here. So you want to do it so the right side is facing up, which just look at the first one. If you're not sure, mark the first one with the stitch marker to tell you what is right side if you need that. So you need to start here and work your way all the way to the edge, and then just circle around with double crochets that you normally know. Now on the double crochet rows, there are 3 single crochets that are around this. On the half double crochet rows there's only 2. So that's only the hard thing that you need to do. And when you turn the corners at the bottom of it, we just have to make sure that we are just getting ourselves all the way to the bottom and then turn that as we get to the bottom. So what we need to do is that we need to just start right here and then crochet and then turn it and continue along. So let's do that next. So to start, what I would do is create a slip knot and start right in the corner. Okay, so start right here and do right in a stitch. Don't do a gapping space so that it will hold it there stable and it'll be looking like it's more done. So just pull through and through, chain 1 and 1 single crochet in there. So this is the last row, so there's no stitch multiples that really matter other than you wanna just be even. So this is a double crochet row, so you wanna put in 3 double crochets, but because this is the very first one and you went here, that's counted as your third one. Okay, so the next one is a half double crochet row, so going into the side of the post just 2 singles, and then the next one here is a double crochet, so you'll put 3 in there and you're gonna do that all the way to the end. But like my one right here, I'm at the end, so I want to just immediately just put in 1 single crochet right into the actual corner. I think I'm improvising from the pattern, so if you see that it says I never read that, you probably didn't. This is just me talking. It's my own personal opinion. So starting in the first one, you want to start with your double crochets again, and then you want to get to your corner. So then remember the double crochet was 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and you'll do that every time you hit a corner. Eventually you will get to the very end and then you're going to put 1 single crochet in the top, and then you, because it's a double crochet here that you see, there'll be 2 more in there. So the first one plus the other one will count. You can put 1 in there and put 3 in there. It's up to you, your call. The half double crochet put in 2 and double crochets put in 3, and this is where you'll finish off. So I've already showed you how to just weave in your ends if you need to, but overall it's a very simple pattern to be able to follow, and you'll have a really nice item, so when you pull it out each year to use is something that you can have a keepsake, but you have to crochet it the first time in order to have that. So this is the pom-pom tree skirt. So without further ado, I am going to put on that pom-pom tutorial right now. So just sit back and relax. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pom-pom with a pom-pom maker that you may find in a store. I picked this one up here in Walmart, and I know that they're in major craft stores across North America as well. So what this is that there's different sizes of pom-pom makers. This particular kit came with all 4 sizes, and when you open them up you realize that you think that they're broken because they're separate units like this, but in actual fact you have to have them separated in order to do it. So some people use for pom-poms, they use cardboard, or they could use their hand in order to make pom-poms. These I have to say they make one of the most perfect pom-poms you'll ever see. So today I'm gonna show you how to operate these, and it's the same operation for all sizes, and I will show you how to do that. So let's begin to show you. So just put the 2 sides. Okay, the outside hinge is gonna be toward the outside and the other one is on the other side. Okay, match it up. Use the divots to hold just like you see here, and just kind of pin it together. So you're going to do it in a way that is going to just hold it together as you do it. Okay, so it's just gonna be good, and they don't need to match each other up there. It's just as long as you're pinching here and it holds it, and it's just lightly holding it. Once you start wrapping it, it'll stick together without you having to hold it really quite tightly. So it's just a matter of starting this and getting it wrapped around a few times. So I'm gonna use my left hand to wrap, and all I want to do is fill in the space on this whole half side. So I'm not gonna jump over to the other side as of yet, and I just want to continue to wrap. So I'm gonna go right up to this edge, and I'm gonna go right up to this edge. Now you can either count it out if you want to, if you would like to be really super accurate with your counting so that it's equal on both sides of this tool, or what you can just do is just wrap it and make it look like it works. Okay, so because this is variegated, I'm kind of just jumping around a little bit, and what I want to do is I want to continue to wrap now, and as you get more and more it just sticks together on its own. So once you're satisfied with it, now you can just cut your yarn. So now I'm gonna jump to the other side and pinning those other two together. I'm gonna do the same thing and just start it and wrap again like I did the other side. So continue to wrap this side and I'll see you back here in just a moment. Okay, once you're satisfied with it, all you just got to do is trim this other yarn. So what you want to do now at this point is that you want to close this contraption. So just close it and also open up these clips, and they are locking on to its neighbor but not opposite to each other. So just close it. So just lock it and lock the other side. So now the entire ring is now full, and now we're going to then separate these and being able to make the pom-pom. So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to grab our scissors next. So with the space that is existing in between, just like you see here, we're gonna run our scissors through, and we're just gonna start on one side and work our way to the other side. So just going right directly in half. Okay, and we are just gonna gently cut. Okay, just do a few at a time if your scissors can't handle it. And you do not want to let this ring go. Everything is being held into place as you're doing it. Now the size of your pom-pom is varied on the size of this ring, but also how many times you wrap it as well. And you go right to the end. So you want to physically see this gap as you go. So now you're going to go back to the other side. Do not let this fall apart on you. Again, holding everything together, and you're going to do the other side now. There's nothing holding these rings together, so you kind of want to hold on to it at that point. So right now I'm about to hold, which I already am, and I go right to the end. So now the rings are actually completely separated from each other, but then it's still in the inside. So just gently put it down, and I need you to grab enough strand. Now if this material is not strong enough to be tied, then you got to use a different material in order to do the tie in the middle. So what I'd recommend for you is that grabbing the same amount of yarn, you're gonna want to tie about 2, 3, or 4 or 5 times in the middle in order to really get it to separate, or to get it to really be tight. So just grabbing your yarn, and what I like to do is that I like to use an extra strand of string as I'm being able to tie it to my project. So just slipping in between the two gaps, the gap spaces as you see here, and you can turn it around and just bring it to the other side, again being gentle about it, and just bring it through. And do you see the hinging here? There is a space, so the yarn will go in between that too, and you just want to pull it through. And so just you start to tie your little knot here. So just let's do that. So let's just put that through and really give it a good tug, and this is going on the inside of this. Pull it enough so that it's gonna form it, but don't pull it enough that it's gonna ruin it. So then I'm gonna go to the other side now, turn it over, and I'm gonna tie this side. So see how I just tied the other side? Now I'm gonna come to this side and tie this side, and I want to do that a few times. So I'm gonna use these 2 strands that are falling out as my tie strands to go to the project. So I want to keep those, and I don't want to damage these strings. So when I go to work with this, I'll leave them out. So I'm gonna tie one more time, and then we're gonna release this pom-pom from the tool. Okay, so there's my strand. So now I'm just gonna hold it by those 2 strands. So now I can open up the tool by just releasing these clamps on both sides, so they're on both sides of the work here, and all I can do is to open it up now, and it will release the pom-pom. So there's one out, and here's the other one coming out in a second, and there is my pom-pom. So now holding it by the 2 strings so you don't accidentally cut it, now you just fluff it up. Okay, look how perfect that is. It looks nice and full, and you're just gonna take your scissors then and just any ones that are just abnormally long or just didn't sit right or just kind of looks like it's not working well, then you're just gonna safely just trim it like this in order to form the pom-pom, like so. You can give it a good shake, and look at it, and that's how you would create a pom-pom with that. So take this other than strands that are here, and you can attach it to the top of a hat really quite easily, and that's how you use all these kind of little tools. So the size of the tool then gives you the size of the pom-pom. So if you look at it from this point of view, see this pom-pom? It kind of matches that. So if you're looking for a bigger pom-pom, you can use a bigger tool like so. You'll have much bigger, and if you want smaller, then you just use a smaller like so. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. Enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy your new pom-pom. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.